This was done in '92. Now, I always thought East Rutherford's was my first big mural, but apparently just tonight I found out. I looked at the date, and this was '92.
Yeah.
And it's a paid department now, Bellevilles. And I saw this truck as it was being delivered coming up Route 3. And it was approaching a hill, and as it made the crest of the hill, I looked at it and I says, man, it looks like a battleship, right? I had that in the back of my mind, so when we went to spec the trucks out, Chief,
Pierce Walter.
Yeah. Scott's on the Bellevilles Fire Department, by the way. He brought me the mural tonight to show you guys.
Yeah, awesome.
And we were talking about the truck, and they said, are we going to name it? And I says, man, it looks like a battleship. And they all lit up. Somebody in the Navy? One of the captains?
Captain Vicari was in the Navy.
He was in the Navy.
I believe he was in the Navy.
Okay. And he was there at the time, right?
Yes. Yeah, he was Walter's sidekick.
So they lit up when I said that.
Oh, yeah.
And that sounds great. That sounds great. What are we going to do? And I think Walter suggested it, calling it the flagship.
Yes.
That's what was Walter's idea. And I says, why don't we put the New Jersey on it? And they went nuts. They couldn't believe it. I said, what a great idea. And that's the spontaneous, everything's spontaneous sometimes with stuff like this. And they said, yeah, let's put the battleship on. And apparently this might have been my first big mural.
1992?
1992, yeah, I didn't even realize that. And it took me, I think, 3 John Wayne movies to cut the stencils out.
I love that.
For the battleship.
Right.
And I got this done. I hate to tell everybody how quick I got this one done, but I was under the gun on this one. And I think this was 8 hours worth of work only.
Really?
And this got to be a record. This has to be a record. But the stencils took a lot of time to cut. But once I got into it, I was so into it.
Right.
You know, it came from here.
Well, it was kind of like what we were talking about before. When you really focus on something, you're not eating, you're not drinking, you're not going to the bathroom. You are focused in it, and you can blow stuff out.
And it just came full circle, and it just worked. And then there's murals that takes me forever to do. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think you had instant inspiration, right? You saw the rig coming over the hill, and you were like, "Hey, man, that
was huge."
Yeah,
it was a huge ladder.
Yeah,
it just looked huge, just doing that crest of the hill.
Right.
And that's the whole story.
I think it's incredible. I mean, this is
and Scott was instrumental in keeping it. And
now,
tell him the story, Scott.
And what are your plans to do with this now? I know you say it's in storage, right?
Yeah, we have it in storage right now because we're still finding a place for it, but we'd like to obviously just touch it up a little bit and then frame it and maybe put the name across the bottom.
Flagship
and
or something.
Put it up in headquarters, as a memory of the truck itself. But
yeah,
as the truck was going, it was going to become salvage. Another neighboring department needed some parts off of it, and they had an agreement to take it from us. And before it went, we were trying to get the mural, and I had to go remind the deputy, hey, what about the mural? Wow. Can we get the mural? Can we get anything off the truck? And they had to draw up some paperwork, and for everything that was worth it. Like I said, that's priceless.
Yes,
absolutely.
And that's your heritage to your fire department.
We were known as the flagship fire department, the battleship fire department. Everyone's like, career fire department, and it gave us some pride and some,
Absolutely.
Do you think the truck lasted longer because of that? Because they had a lot of pride in it?
Well, the truck lasted for as long as it could.
But I noticed that.
Like I said, even in its dying days, I mean, look at it. It's battle worn. That door got ripped off once or twice.
It looks great.
It's
even with the scratches, it looks fantastic.
I mean, it's been in some close calls, and it's still, that art is still there.
It's been in battles.
Yes.
Yeah, and the New Jersey went through how many wars? 3? You got World War II, Korean War.
It also was used in Vietnam.
Vietnam.
Yes.
So it's 4 wars.
Yeah,
it's got 4 wars under its hull. Yeah. It's amazing.
It's gorgeous, and I mean, I could only picture this. It was on a rear mount 110-foot E1.
Here it is.
Yep,
here it is.
Right. So picture of it. Right on the side door behind
we're talking a large rear mount, and I mean that thing just frames that door. And you want to talk about pride? I mean, it's incredible. And for a career department to be willing to understand the necessity to capture culture and build tradition and
the chief was very traditional, very much in the fire service. He knew about Eddie.
Right.
And he's done some work on our rigs in the past, and he've even designed an old logo that we tried to keep. But again, tradition gone aside. We couldn't save that. But yeah, he kind of just gave him liberty to do that. And the other interesting part about it was when it came in, you surprised us all because we're looking, and traditionally you'd have scrolls in the corner of the fire trucks.
Yeah, touch on that.
Fleur-de-lis, scrolls, and traditional stuff. And we're looking, and I think you can capture a little bit of that. And we're looking, and there it is in the gold leaf in the corners. It's the 16-inch shells just firing out of that.
That is so cool.
Right here. And again, that was the last minute thing that I thought about while I was striping.
But that's it. I mean, you hit on it before, the UFO. You hit on the shooting star. Like, those are those things that just make it just a little more unique, right? A little more in tune with the situation and the time you're spending with the rig and thinking about it. I mean, you spend so many hours on these projects.
You get it done at the factory.
Right.
Salary workers.
Right.
They see 9 to 5.
Right.
They're out of there. You know?
I agree. I mean, decals, they decal it, and it's crooked. They come back in, they redo it, right? And then they're done, and the truck's put out on the line, and and then it comes back, and then as a guy that loves tradition, this screams it. And we're going to touch on a couple other pieces of art that are just incredible. That you could build your whole culture of your department based upon what's painted on the side of your truck
and tradition.
And Ed, I'll tell you, like people. We had some people say like, oh, well, what about cost and this and that? And like, I don't think you can put a cost on some of that stuff. When you start talking about tradition and instilling values and instilling where you've come from into the newer members and so on, things like this promote pride.
Right, and you're going to keep this forever.
Absolutely.
You're going to sell your vehicle.
I agree.
And you'd even buy, if it was going to somebody else, you're going to buy a panel and put it on there that's plain.
Right.
And you're going to put that up in your firehouse.
Yeah, it's a contention of pride. There's no doubt.
Well, it's like a portrait in the old days, right? Yeah. But it's on your truck.
Yeah.
And you all love that
truck
because you rode that truck.
Yeah.
So it's your truck.
Right.
And it brings back the story of, I don't know if a lot of people know about Kingman, Arizona after World War II. The storage facility. All the old World War II bombers were stored there, and most of them had outrageous artwork.
Yeah.
They were fantastic.
Well, I'm picturing like Memphis Belle, right? Like, that. Yeah. Absolutely.
All of them.
And
they're still sitting there rotting.
No, they
got rid of them?
Yeah, but someone had insight to cut some of the panels off.
Please, those are so
and the same thing like the front of this truck from this firehouse. I don't know if you guys captured.
We saw it outside.
We took some stills of that.
And that's a 1 in a million that they cut the whole nose off the fire truck. It was like amazing when I heard they did that. Yeah. I just joked around with them and I said, "You should cut the nose off."
Yeah, well, they did.
They did.
And then Keith Dennis calls me up and said, "Hey, I cut the nose off, and you got 2 door skins." And they gave me 2 of the door skins. So they have 2 skins here.
Awesome.
And they have the nose hanging from the wall, and they do let me use it for different shows if I want to show it. Yeah. And Scott helped me out last year with a custom car show that I went to, that I used this.
I mean, it's gorgeous. Yeah. I mean, it screams New Jersey. It screams pride. I mean, and it's 1992, 2018. Like, this is gorgeous. I mean, it's still mint. Looks
That's
beautiful.
Jersey, everybody.
That's it.
And it's
Jersey pride.
It's been through battles, and it looks good. I mean, I don't care about that chip in the corner.
No, you know what
this
we'll do
looks
there?
Great.
Scott, we're going to put the goalie stripe there with the bullets coming out, the shells coming out.
There you go.
Right? Yeah, that's a straight line. Whoever put that scratch in, I'll hire him. It's pretty damn straight.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Good. That's awesome. Thank you. Great storytelling on that one. No doubt.